Okay, first up, this image. Let's go look at this area in Google Earth. And it's about right here in South Africa, this general area. And I'm going to take you through a general tour of this greater area in South Africa. So let's look at these squiggles and parallel lines. Quick interjection here. In a few minutes, you'll see me discover that the spirals are only about 10 years old, but I decided to leave this section in anyways because there are a few interesting examples surrounding it and also some worthwhile commentary perhaps. So this area is in a big salt pan, a big flat area, and quoting from a Smithsonian video, because the pan is so flat, farmers try different techniques to help the natural plant species grow. They plow these troughs into the earth with tractors. Rainwater and windblown seeds get caught up in the labyrinth of spirals, contributing to the water table and germinating seeds. The new growth provides the perfect grazing for sheep and cattle. So we're seeing these contour trenches and also agricultural experiments performed at different times. Also, the pan is called Vernooikpan, which is an interesting coincidence since Vernooik is Afrikaans for trick, deceive, mislead, or swindle. And I'm tempted to say that this refers to the deception which the spirals are a part of, but the conventional explanation is on the pan, all depth and distance perception goes out of whack because of the size of the place, so people can get lost, which gives credence to the salt pan's name, Vernooikpan. And I would say maybe there is a multi-layered deception going on here, or maybe not. This one may just be agricultural stuff and some diamond mining. Here we see a close-up photo of these spirals, and you can see the vegetation growing around them. So it is ditches with vegetation, and that's what makes up these patterns. And it's these contour trenches dug by tractors, and you can't really see the wheel marks. I think the wheel marks disappear pretty quick, or the tractor treads, the tread marks, but the ditches remain for years. These contour trenches break up hard pans, trap rainfall, improve infiltration, and promote the rejuvenation of resident grasses and the germination, emergence, and establishment of seeded grasses. The oldest trenches, based upon the number of plants growing along them, are probably the straight rows bordering a large number of spirals. The loose curves seem to have been created next based on the plant growth along them. The tight spirals are likely the last to be created because they show relatively little growth. So we have some that are newer looking, some that are older looking, and that may just be, well, because some are decades old and some are newer. And then these lines that article was saying are likely older. Same thing, trenches to trap seeds, like blowing in the wind and stuff like that. I don't see a whole lot of agriculture and cattle and stuff in the area from Google Earth, so I don't see why they would need all this grazing. But I don't know, maybe when they're migrating from one area to another, they need a place to stop or something. I don't know. Maybe I just missed it. But that's that. And then this Facebook post was giving some evidence that the area is used for alluvial diamond mining. So surface mining of diamonds could account for some of these patterns, and then agriculture for the rest. So that's what that is. But you can watch this section if you want, or just skip ahead. So we've got the spirals, sometimes connected, sometimes disconnected. Like this one, it's like wrapping around this one, but you can see that this one starts right here, kind of spiraling in, and then just kind of petering out towards the inside. So we have both spirals that run into each other and spirals which stand alone. Not quite sure what they're made of. I think stacked rocks. Here you see just kind of a noodling pattern from this spiral to, looks like it kind of breaks there and then to here, and lots of little variations. Certainly could be someone just having a gay old time out in the desert, just doing some donuts in the parking lot, so to speak, with their off-roading vehicle. You know, just some modern recreational thing, but I would say that's unlikely since there's all these other patterns, these parallel lines, some more spirals here. The parallel lines in this area is pretty ubiquitous, or there's a lot of it. More of it over here, just patches of it, more spirals. Many more parallel lines and spirals. Once again, highlighting the scale of it, etc., etc. I don't think this is any kind of terracing or agriculture. You see little nubs here. Like, let's see, let's go back. Remember that still image from New Jersey? Let's check it out. This one, like this type of odd variation seems to be something that they do, or some, like this kind of nonsensical, purposeless little nublet here, just protruding out like that on this river bend. So I think, like what we're seeing right now in Google Earth, this is kind of like it's like the algorithm is utilizing that particular strategy at this point along this line. Just I mean, all I'm saying is it's slightly similar looking, so it might be. We've got these gashes, many gashes, sometimes curved, sometimes linear, and these, I don't think all of the long gashes we see in this area are roads or dirt roads. I'm pretty sure we're seeing very large scale, just terraforming lines, for lack of a better word, like up here where these parallel lines meet. You can kind of see that this is kind of like a rocky thing with quite a bit of messiness. So I mean, this wouldn't make a very good road with all this stuff. And just kind of, see what I mean? This isn't a road, it's a like a terraforming ditch of some kind. And look how long it is. Like, just keeps going. Maybe let's follow, yeah, change this directions here. Maybe it turns into a road, like here it's looking more like a road. But at the beginning over there it wasn't. Yeah, and then it just keeps going and going. And here we see it do like a couple little right angles. And maybe joining up with the road over here. So it's possible that some of it is utilized as a road after the fact. And also, incidentally, lots of little rectangular lakes in this area, looking very much like just a bunch of little lakes like this. Possibly scraped up or tooled up there. Let's go back over to the area, faint line. Okay, so here was that line we were looking at, and then we also have little things like this ridge, just kind of a straight ridge there, which I find slightly irksome. Maybe there, maybe not. It could just be the natural rock layers or whatever, but here we have more parallel lines curving here. And let's look real quick at the historical photos. Still there in 2005, so yeah. And let's do that for this squiggle area too. So squiggles and spirals back in time. 2006, we still have the horseshoes. It looks like some of it's covered up, or what am I seeing? That would be very interesting if these spirals are new. Do we see any spirals in 2006? Well, there's certainly let's go to a different year, 2011. So by 2011, it's all there. And look how new it looks in 2011. So maybe either it was exposed by like a sandstorm or something, or I guess it's new. What about these horseshoe lakes? Multiple lakes like this. Just kind of awkward. It's there in 2006. Kind of looks washed out. It's tough to say. The parallel lines are definitely there. Do the spirals arrive? See some spirals there in 2011. Okay, and then these show up later. 2016, 2014, 2013, it's all there. So 2012, this set of spirals is not there. We do have these parallel lines. So 2012 not there, 2013 they show up. So once again, I'm 50-50 whether I'm having to eat my words and take it back, or whether it's part of an ongoing gibberish thing, or ongoing terraforming thing. 2012, these ones are there. 2011. 2006, can't really tell, but it doesn't look like they're there. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Let's look at some other features. Parallel lines. So these gashes, just short gashes here, along with these parallel lines. What about these spirals? When did these show up? Can't really tell in 2006. 2011, they are not there. But we do have the gashes and parallel lines. 2011, these parallel lines are looking pretty newish. Multiple directions here. See, a lot of these short little gashes, that's a very common thing. I probably could have made that its own category, the short linear gashes. This is an interesting pattern. Kind of faded a little bit by 2018. So I'm thinking a lot of this stuff is new. Still pretty odd. The gashes, or ditches, I guess. Parallel lines, more parallel lines. When do these show up? 2011 looking pretty fresh. What are they made out of though? Is this like rocks on the outside of them? I'm wondering if all the... See, here's another little rectangular lake. Not sure I understand what's going on there. When's that? It's still there in 2006. More squiggles here. Different area. Or just farther away. Let's see when these show up. They might be there in 2006. It's too blurry to tell. I'm just gonna say this. These almost look CGI. Don't you think? Don't you think so? Take a look at that. See the sheen? Or the lighting on these? That's an interesting possibility. I hadn't considered that. So maybe it's like rolls of laid tubing or piping or something. Like some type of flexible piping. Or pipes that's laid out in these spirals for whatever reason. But I wanna go look at the first time these other spirals showed up and see what they look like when they first show up, if they look like that other area. So there's an interesting look to them. They seem to be reflecting light. Probably not CGI. That was just passing thought. It's interesting. I think it's something round. It looks like one of those like a roll of like licorice or something. Okay, at the rate this video is going so far, I'm probably gonna be... This video is probably looking at like 4 hours long, but I want to do a relatively thorough job here. So if it's 4 hours, just skim it, I guess. And see, these days, the spiral is kind of spotted along the spiral. So I don't know if that's bushes or if it's rocks or something. I guess drone footage would be the only way to say for sure. Let me hit the rest of these place marks and move to a different area for you. These parallel lines, again, lines of what, I'm not sure. It's unfortunate we can't see. What's there in 2012? Another kind of gash or rectangular patch there. So I'm saying nearly coherent array of ditches and lines, but does this do anything? Does this set of paths or gashes or grooves, does it serve a purpose? I'm having a rough time with that. And same thing here, just like arbitrary ditches. Another rectangular little lake here. Here. These angular divots. Let's see when these showed up with the parallel lines. They're there in 2006, these angular features. You see a lot of strange paths like this. Too many to point out, really. Okay, I think we're just about done with this area. So another thing you see in South Africa is these very long straight lines. I kind of mentioned it already, but it's like some of them don't fit the bill for a road. That one I don't know about, but kind of like longer versions of these linear gashes here. When do these spirals show up? These ones show up 2012 maybe. Oh. 2013, they're there. 2011, can't see them. So, just throwing this out there, that could easily be removed by advanced filtering algorithms. So I'm not saying Google Earth is not reliable, but it's possible that some of these photos are doctored. But once again, I'll say I don't think that's likely. I think it's more likely that these are recent constructions. So parallel lines and gashy paths. A lot of that. And it just kind of ends abruptly. And Okay. Dead air. More parallel lines. Showed you that already. But I mean, I didn't look at all of this area, but pretty much everywhere I look, I find something. Except here. What do we got? We got parallel lines over here. Same type of ditchy, angular ditches or grooves. When does this show up? It's there in 2006, so whatever. Just a lot of random shapes. Another horseshoe lake here, or ditch. Could be some modern industrial thing. Okay. Let's move along to possibly artificial ravine. Just kind of looks abrupt through this rocky outcrop thing. And you kind of see it continuing here. It's like a dark path of not much. Here it's continuing. See that? Like this dark streak. And well, this as well. These ditches and parallel lines. And continuing. And continuing. It's like this ridge. Like it looks kind of natural in some places. Well, it may end here. But these are interesting. So these lines, these long, that one maybe. Sorry, I know I'm losing some of you right now because I'm kind of doing research on the fly and that's no fun to watch. I should be presenting my results, not and researching on my own time, right? But yeah, just wondering if this ravine, which seems to be an extension of this dark streak, is natural. It's pretty wide. Another horseshoe lake right here. More random gashes. Just a gash, random gash. And you see these little tick marks and parallel lines. This is one of those random zooms where I got lucky. Because a lot of times you just don't find anything, but it's kind of haphazard parallel lines here. Another rectangular lake. Could be someone's looking for something. Like these are all test paths, like taking soil samples or something, looking for, I don't know, gold or whatever. This is certainly interesting. Just a lot of gashes and tick marks and random terraformed areas. Looking like it's modern, maybe this part. Obviously this area is heavily worked over. Another one of these little rectangle lakes with the sets of parallel lines in multiple directions. It's very hard to make heads or tails of this stuff. It's not straightforward patterns that we're seeing, in my estimation. But heavily worked over, to be sure. Another rectangular thing there. See these dark streaks. Another gash here. See the beginning of it, just kind of some kind of path, but it kind of fades out there. Let's look at the historical photo here. (2006) is the best we get, and basically looking the same. Yeah. Tough to say what's modern and what's not. Like this could easily be modern. Or it could be some type of weirdness. Quite a bit of it. These angular ditches. Okay, let's go back to my place marks. What else? Long, thin line, unperturbed by elevation change. So, got what looks like a seam. Let's try and measure it. It's too small, but let's see how many feet across we're dealing with. Okay, so it could be like 10 feet across. This might be a dirt road. Just seeming elevation changes, but it's perfectly straight across that. Here we see it angle off in another direction. It's going the other way. Could even be like a power line or a pipe or something. And here it joins up with other similar lines, just making the point that there are many such lines in this area. And also more natural ones like this. I don't think this is a road, but it seems it's like a long, slightly out of place or discontinuous. It does meander. It's not like perfectly straight. This dark streak I'm following. And you see it going up over this, what is it, riverbed. Continuing here. It's It's pretty odd, I think. Could be a natural feature. See it continuing here. Just seems abrupt and looking kind of like an artificial ditch there. So that's just one, but there's a lot of these long gashes. This one, wondering about this right here, although, oh no, I'm actually referring to this, which looks more artificial. Let me hide this. This looking kind of out of place to my eye, maybe. See kind of more of them there, like these long straight paths or something. Here it looks like it comes like, I don't know if it starts here and ends there. Looks like it continues a little bit. Another long seam, or I'm just calling it a seam because it looks like a seam. I don't know, because I know when I watch people do these scroll throughs, like I just kind of start nodding off or like checking out mentally, especially when they're looking for stuff on the fly, like live. It's just kind of boring to watch. So I don't know, maybe you can let me know if you get bored or if it's like too slow or if it's tolerable, if it's, maybe a little slow at times, but worthwhile. I mean, I know the pursuit as a whole, I think, is worthwhile. And following this dark line here, the whole landscape is ribbed with these dark lines. But see how long it is. But I don't know. I don't really see a way around it, just because. I mean, I've already done a lot of the work to get place marks down so that I can reference them and have stuff to show. But I guess just pick and choose what you watch or scrub through. I mean, I don't need to tell you how to use a computer, but ay. See, I'm tripping over these straight lines. I can't make up my mind whether I think they're natural or artificial. This one, here's kind of a short ditch. Some tick marky ditches there. This side of this hill is worked up like that, worked over. Yeah, but like this right here, this dark streak, seems a little awkward to be natural. Here it's continuing, and those might be natural rock layers. But then we see, well, it could be vegetation growing in the natural crevices, I suppose, although that's pretty damn parallel. See, very parallel. And then this long guy going across here, this long line, I think there's a strong chance it's in some sense artificial. See it continuing here, kind of awkwardly. Just a stripe across the landscape. And it's not perfectly straight, but it's I highly suspect it's artificial, let's say that. And okay, artificial but modern work, conventional work, maybe, I don't know. I don't think that's the case for all of these dark straightish lines. I think there's something else going on. Okay, so let me stick to my place marks for now. So we already covered this area with the spirals. Many large-scale dark lines. All right, I already showed you a bunch of these, but here we have one with parallel lines on the sides. You can see just how straight it is. It's certainly possible that it's a seam in a natural seam in the rock, but looking very pathy to me, like the path of, I don't want to say a vehicle, but some type of operation was performed to create this. And I wonder how 3D this this type of phenomena is, like how deeply into the ground does it go? Or is it like is it just a surface thing? It's just so awkward. And see, it's very, very long. And here we have, looks like it, well, it still picks up over here, it seems like. If I'm not mistaken. Could be a different line. But, I mean, I guess it could be this crew, like taking a vehicle out, and just a very large vehicle, and just driving in one direction for extended periods of time. It's certainly possible. Let's measure how wide this is. 55 feet across. Could be multiple pass-throughs with I mean, I don't know of any vehicles which are 55 feet across, but I guess there's land movers, which may be parallel lines. Possible rectangular lake things. Multiple straight gashes across this river. Yep. See, looking like tire tracks right there, but that's not where this thing seems to start. And obviously a road right here, I think. So these gashes, looks like there's a little horseshoe at the end of it, maybe. Then we have this like inverse gash. It looks like it's raised. Might not be, but. I'm just as confused as you are. Or maybe you're not confused. I'm sure some of you have ideas that I haven't thought of as explanations for this stuff. Probably modern, yeah. Crisscross. I don't know about this. Just suspecting that the rock is crisscrossed. Maybe. Sometimes rock just naturally crumbles in almost a checkerboard pattern. Straight gouge. Yeah, these things. Many of them. And long straight line. You see the edge of it there, the edge of it there. Maybe. That might be. I don't feel like following that. Two long straight lines, could be anything. Power lines crossing. That's what you want to see. You want to see power lines. That's why you're watching this video. See this line across this? I don't know. Could be some kind of path. Faint parallel lines going this way. Maybe natural. Might be. Looks a little odd. Okay, more short gashes. Long gash here. Again, these dark lines everywhere. This guy. What is this? Kind of see it faintly there. This faint edge of whatever this is. Looks like the edge of some kind of path. Oh, ending in this, whatever this is. All right. Okay, let's move to a different area. Let's check this out right here. So, wondering whether these straight lines are natural or artificial. See anything else? Okay, so this area, I had a still image of this area as well. It's like spottiness and these wavy lines. And let's just take a quick photo or look back. And looking pretty newly terraced in 2003. Maybe. About the same, actually. And these spots or dots or mounds are what I'm pretty interested in. The whole landscape is spotty, dotty, and I don't know if it's piles of rocks or there's like pale spots and then there's dark spots as well. So I don't know. Could be like circles of grass growing, you know, like when like a particular species of grass grows in a circular pattern. Another quick interjection here. You'll hear me speculate over what these spots are, but after some subsequent research, they are most likely termite mines or fairy circles. And here's a so-called fairy circle. It's basically just the species of grass, the dynamics of it competing with itself and other species for water, and that's just the way it arranges itself. It's pretty natural, or just natural. And then termite mounds. These are some termite mounds in Brazil, covering a very large area, and you can see it has kind of a similar look. So I'm thinking these ones in South Africa most likely are termite mounds, which are pretty large, as you can see, or fairy circles, or so-called fairy circles. Okay, just keep that in mind, and you can skip ahead, skip past this section, or watch it if you want. I don't know how long it is, 20 minutes maybe. Parallel patches next to a road, though. It could be road related. So, spottiness. Yeah, I don't know if it's rock piles or bushes. Like, I would say almost 100% it's got to be bushes, except for some of them just look like dirt mounds, and some of them are more like rings or like pale spots. So this could be where a bush was growing, if this is a bush. I don't know, it's like the cheetah landscape or leopard. Some parallel lines here. Definite possibility that this is a part of the gibberish protocol, and it's a very large area. Spottiness. Let's measure it real quick. Like 100 miles. So I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything conclusive to say. Sometimes it looks like like big rocks. And see here, it's not looking like bushes. It's pale spots. Although maybe the bush depletes the soil and then before it dies, it leaves, or when it dies, it leaves a spot or whatever kind of vegetation. Or once again, people have talked about like carpet bombing or something. Could be that. Some type of ancient war zone. But I would qualify it as a strange pattern, the spots. Yeah, man, this one almost looks like a path there. Maybe not. Could just be the natural rock. So I'll just show you 3 more hours of spots, and then we'll move to another example. I hate that I can't. Well, how would you go about verifying this? Like what this is? That was actually interesting. Just get a good sense of scale of the spotness. I guess the best way would just be to find a city nearby and look for drone footage of it and try and see if you can see spots in the background and see what they are. But there's not much civilization going on over here. See, this looks like 5 bushes or something. Okay. The wavy lines, I don't know what to make of that. It could be... could be modern. I don't know. I'm looking for people. Some patchiness as well. But that's our spots. We've got spots to consider. All right, done with spots. Already showed you these areas. And briefly, we're still in South Africa, pretty far away. I don't know, 500 miles maybe. And then here we have the stone circles, just a very strange pattern. Pretty vast area in kind of random configurations, very blotchy and goofy. See, this one's pretty done up, or pretty almost symmetrical. And then they're all different. You already know that. And more of it, parallel lines, and wondering if the area is worked over. This might just be farms. But then, like, we've got these kind of patches and awkward angles and stuff. Like this stuff. Pretty weird, I think. Like this. What is it? Is it trees? So, stone circles. Cool. All right, we're done with South Africa for now. Okay, let's take a look at this example. I made a mistake. It's not Bolivia, it's Peru, but this area is pretty fascinating. I've showed a lot of Peru and Bolivia, but this area in particular is pretty insane. So let's go over there in Peru. Okay, so it is near Lake Titicaca. So it's this general area of Lake Titicaca in Peru. So it's about, well, I think from here to here is about 20 miles. So it's a pretty large area. And here's that derp mound with the star and the squiggles. Real quick historical photo. I think I already looked at this, but 1969, can't see dick. But 2005, man, that's convenient. Bad resolution. 2010 is the earliest we got, and you see all this stuff already there. So this says AIT. I don't know what that means, but I see all these squigness. Once again, I'm open to the possibility that this is, I'm going to go back to that 2010 photo because the contrast is better. So the idea here is the underlying land is all squiggled up. Like, let's look at this haphazard patchiness. So it's patchy and it's wavy, squiggly, and check mark next to the strange patterns category, in my opinion. And so a lot of these circle and square holes, I'm guessing, are not modern. While they may be used or repurposed for modern stuff, just on a hunch, I wonder if this round and square lake thing we see is part of this large scale squiggling. I mean, we do see people doing their thing right here. But that is another thing you see, these circular holes. And I mean, man, just look at all this. It's tough because there are a lot of people around here. I'm making the argument that they're operating on top of previous patterns. Again, how old, I don't know. This could even be new squiggles, which are part of the strange terraforming project, like within the last 100 years or so. But just the scale of it is what I wanted to show. And man, honestly, maybe if you can only look at one area on Earth, I've hit on it pretty hard, but just this general area of Peru and Bolivia, and this area in particular is just out of this world. See the vast squiggleness. I can't believe this didn't catch my eye until like a couple days ago, but yeah, like these round lakes and spotty little lakes or holes, and we see the parallel lines on all around here. Probably what we might call out of place channels as well. Just guessing. We see these paths here, these circular paths, and again more squiggles. Like there's a weird thing where it's like it's satisfying but frustrating at the same time to point this stuff out, because I want to show like every square inch of like 100,000 square miles, and I'd love to go deep on every individual case history, but unfortunately that's too big of a task for a human lifespan on human time scales. It's a magical area. It's all squiggled up, scribbled on, scribbled over, terraformed over. 2005, pretty much the same deal. Yeah, man. I mean, streaks, patchy streaks everywhere. I don't know what that is. The patchy mountains, like all this stuff. Looking very heavily terraformed. I would say almost scalloped, in my opinion. Like this looks like a scalloped hillside right into the rock. Pretty strange. More of it. It's kind of subtle, kind of not. These scallopy marks. And of course, Peru and Bolivia being home to some of the strangest archaeological sites as well, Sacsayhuaman and whatnot. Just the vast. See, I think these are stacked stone walls, but we also have the stone walls like kind of intermingling with the mountains, it looks like. So I do wonder whether the mountains themselves are heavily doctored, if not planted there outright. But let's just do a few more. Well, let's look at what place marks I have. Are all of these grooves modern? Okay, I'm just referring to the squiggles, I think. Yeah. Place marks. Scraped shaved land, pretty much. Like these types of patches, I wonder if that's I don't know, patches of tooling or whatever. And like this whole outcrop of, or this whole hilly area looks like it's been chunked at or chunked out by some type of excavation or sophisticated resurfacing method. I was feeling pretty low energy about 25 minutes ago, but I got a second wind, so lucky you. Once again, patchy scalloped hillside, kind of looking like Jordan in some parts in the Middle East. And I'm still considering that I may have to eat my words if all of this is modern. I mean, just innocent, conventional agriculture and whatnot. This wide streak, kind of reminiscent of the Nazca lines. You know what I mean? Just like, just blazed through the landscape. This little square thing with the circular hole. Just, I would say, a shit show. The area is a shit show, basically. This thing, round thing. And I'm a bad summarizer. I need to give you the cliff notes. But at the same time, the scale is the cliff notes. And wonder what that means. AIT. Is that a Spanish word? The only real way to convey the scale is to show you. Does it get annoying when I adjust when I'm constantly trying to justify myself and defend myself? I don't know if it's warranted or not. I don't know. Lines, patches, patchiness. The patchiness is what caught my eye at first, and then so these hills look all patched up as well. And there are people right here, so are they moving up the hillside and doing this? This looks like it might be modern. Yeah, but I don't know. It's both, really. I think it's the goofy terraforming and the modern stuff. Yeah. Kind of terraced here, almost looks practical. Patchy hills. Seen it, heard it. Next. Patchy scalp mountainsides. I think I just showed you this, yeah. Scalloped, shaved, weird area. Ooh, I'm excited. I don't know what's over there. So, wondering if these patchy streaks are, again, possibly more of the parallel squiggles. If these patchy streaks are like some kind of working over by an unacknowledged project. Get lots of these little circular things. Could be a well. I mean, I don't know. Weird area. Let's do it. What is weird? So squiggleness. Yeah. There's that. And see, this is looking quite crisp. So this might be new. Almost certainly. And it's probably their work. I'm wondering if there are crews of people who go around unwittingly carrying out the agenda of this nonsense thing. Very, very speculative, I know. But like there's a cover story. Here's a nice little path here. Looks like of something. Like there's a legitimate reason for doing what they do, and or a seemingly legitimate cover story, one that actually makes sense. But maybe the real purpose is to get them to make patterns. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty wild, but given the weirdness, I mean, I'm just considering anything, you know. Vast area of shaved off earth, maybe. Could be, guys. Certainly appears that way. Scrapey, maybe. Lots of little dots. And yeah, it's this vast area. So let's measure this real quick. 40 miles. And that's just that part. I mean, there's stuff all around here. Like, yeah, I mean, patchy patterns or what have you. Flaky. I'm just saying it resembles flaky, like the edge of a toaster strudel or something. This might be modern terracing. I don't know. Could be. There's so much of it, though. Scrape marks possibly on this coast here. Possibly just farm work or agricultural work or industrial work. Also looking like kind of a shave maneuver or a shave of the land. Terraforming, I don't know, only so many synonyms. I mean, it's still very rational that this is just that guy just driving his tractor out and driving it back. You know what I mean? Like all of this. I'm undecided about everything. I have my biases and my leanings for sure, but this looks like scrapey tooling maneuvers to me. Not with a chisel. I don't know with what, but there you have it. Stuff. Okay, so we took a long look at Lake Titicaca and this squiggle area. Yeah. Okay, I need to wrap it up. I'm a spaz sometimes. Sometimes I annoy myself when I'm editing. Like, shut up. Yeah, squiggles, more squiggles than misaligned square, whatever. Okay. Let's leave this area behind. So we checked that out, Peru, not Bolivia. We checked out this area in South Africa. Bolivia, this one is, I believe, in Bolivia. Circle of the little squares, we might take a look at that. And then some of these square mounds. So let's go do that right now. So here we are. This is in Bolivia near Lake Pupo. And many, very many little squares and polygons. This I'm suggesting is a deliberate enigma. Same with most of all of this stuff. Many squares. And the lines, not to mention these lines. So let's zoom out a little bit, take a look at these lines. And I think this is not just dirt roads or off-roading or power lines or anything. I'm thinking this is more like the Nazca lines or clearing lines, perhaps even tool paths, just very scraped up. And then we have all these little squares as well. Patches of squares. Again, the circular holes. Yeah, just vast squarey area. I think I already showed you this general area. But yeah, here's the hole with the 4 mounds around it. And then the patches of parallel lines around it. I think I already took you through here. But yeah, there's a lot of these. Many conventional possibilities or down-to-earth explanations. Yeah. So who knows what all this stuff is. But I just wanted to show you this guy. So I think it's pretty cool. It's an interesting configuration. These lines looking like scrapey paths to me. Lines in multiple directions. Yeah. Maybe even this guy, this river thing. All right. So, yeah, enough of that. Oh, I guess on these so-called claws, this whole area is patchy as well. This is interesting looking texture, but yeah, these dark outcrop areas have the patchy squares look to them. And see, I'm thinking it was like, this looks like it was shaved across maybe. Like these, random square patch here. Cut flat across, just wondering. So I'm thinking this was like a claw, which was shaved to fit the landscape. Land is clear cut, maybe. Texturing. Okay. But yeah, I mean, patchy, 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 blah, blah, blah. Okay. Done with this area for now. Let's go to this area in Bolivia, somewhat nearby. I just want to give it one more quick look. Strange pattern, vast area. So here we are, and it is about halfway between that Lake Pupo and Lake Titicaca in Bolivia. And it's this particular look of scalloped, bumpy plots or parceling or segmentation of this landscape, terraforming of it. See these dots and the ridges, bumps along the ridge here. So very, very odd to my eye. It's possible, but it would surprise me if it's modern work. I don't think it is modern work. Blah, blah. And the scale of it, very patchy. Chunked up, chunked out. Patched over, sheared against. Not sure what's going on here. But yeah, pretty vast area. Let's look over here. And here's a slightly different pattern. See, this is more of the stacked rocks in the goofy patterns. But it's like here's the stacked rocks, and then this is like the rocks mixed with the dirt from the hillside going across here. So this is more like a intertwined pattern. And then yeah. Over here, anything? Maybe. Probably just a hiking trail or something. But yeah, if you remember Jordan has a very similar look, which we'll take a quick look at in a second. Just a very strange pattern. Okie doke. So yeah, there's that pattern in Jordan, and I think I already took you on a little tour of this place, so I won't go there right now. But you see the bumps and the angular patches and the vast scale of it. So, and it's probably in many other places in Earth that I haven't even glanced at. But there it is. Jordan, I'm not gonna tour you through this area because I think I already did. This is a strange pattern with that shit. Mauritius, I actually do want to go to, so let's go there. So, just these dashes and dots here, or circles. So here's the closer look. Strange look to this area. So here we are on Mauritius, which is an island off of Madagascar here. So pretty remote. Don't have too many place marks here, so you're probably happy to hear me say that. But where was I? Here it is. Strange look to this area, so let's just kind of get a feel for it. Obviously, people, very many people here. Just posing the question if they're operating over. See, these look like rocky outcrops, or I don't know, tough to say. Something they have to work around is, I guess, the point I'm making. It's what it looks like. Like they have to work around this. Like maybe it's rock or something. But it's in a pretty strange pattern, in my opinion. Just giving you some different looks here. Yeah, man. See here, I'm seeing like a cross maneuver, which looks like it created the edge of this feature like that. Same kind of thing here. It's just a little haphazard, which isn't necessarily suspicious, but I think it's a little suspicious. Okay, let's look at some other place marks. These cleared lines here. And how far does it go? It looks like it ends there. That might be just modern stuff. Pointy path here. Might just be a fence or something. A lot of my place marks no longer appear relevant because the photos are periodically updated. So I think I was talking about the underwater stuff here. Just wondering if this is an artificial kind of jetty. Fuck. This episode sucks and is long. It only sucks because it's a little less organized and drawn out. Gap where tool passed through? Maybe. Let's check it out. It's a little straight. A little abrupt, you know what I mean? Don't you think? Just kind of slightly linear edges. Maybe. Modern jetty. Yeah, probably. And we have kind of a feature joining these islands, but that might be just a modern bridge, likely. Damn it, Mauritius is sucking. Or I'm sucking on... I'm sucking on Mauritius. Here, maybe something. I think I already. I don't know. Faint old grid, maybe. Not likely. Probably just these people. Could be. Parallel streaks from tooling. What is here? Okay, here we go. Nope. Probably just natural sand flows like this. Okay, but we do see this island. So, let's look at photos. There's like a mud flood type situation going on here. The tops of the buildings are buried, or the buildings are buried quite a bit. So I think these might be plumbusy structures, the different styles in the same building, and the deliberate. I haven't gotten into this aspect of the architecture too much yet, but the deliberate haphazardness and pseudo repairs that are going on. Let's look at this other one. But in one of them, you can just see the roof of the building at like eye level or ground level. Yeah, like this is a roof, I think. One of them. Anyways. I was just gonna show you all my place marks on Mauritius, but I don't think I have a lot of super strong ones on this island. Little grooves and tidbits of angular tree lines in this area. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like this, I guess. Angular tree lines and awkward tree lines. Yeah, that is something we see around the world. Okay. Let's leave. I'll take a look at this real quick. Could just be the natural rock here. Like, I was thinking this might be like chunked out, but it's probably just the eroding natural rock. At least in this case. All right, let's leave. South Africa, I already showed you this. Spotty area. Wavy lines, whole hillside. Yeah, let's look at this real quick. Scallop land and then the waviness, which kind of transitions into, well, I guess just more waviness. Let's see, it kind of has an abrupt edge over here. So let's look at it. So let's look at the scale real quick. Where are we? Peru? Yeah, a little more inland and a little more north of the areas we've been looking at so far. Wavy lines, whole hillside. A lot of other stuff nearby as well. And you can see the abrupt, very abrupt linear edge to these wavy lines, which seems like it turns into a path across and like that. Path up like this. Several paths going across the lines. What is it? I don't know. And then this kind of rocky outcrop circle thing at the top. And here we see just kind of converging on the apex of this elevation, and just, I don't know. I think it's like goofy patterns, just more goofness. I don't think it's legit terracing or anything. Just artistic flair, basically. Possibly patchy land here. Here we see more of it. Short gash, very common thing. And here we're kind of seeing like a similar thing. That might just be the natural layers. Wavy lines over here? No, not really. Oh. Yeah, we've got some right here. And this, whatever. More wavy lines. So this I don't think is terracing for farming. Just whatever it is, there it is. Here we see trees in between these kind of wavy marks. Like we have these wavy marks up the hillside, and then here further down we have like more like deeper substantial maneuvers with trees in between, looks like. It's curious. See, there's always, not always, but often a blending between these styles and patterns, like a pattern blend. Here we see circles. See, look at this circle, like just kind of clumsily over the top, or superimposed. And here we have one that's more in line with the wavies. Not a circle necessarily, but yeah, this circles is like just another garnish on the pattern, I guess. Here we're seeing like pretty deep operation here with these waves. I wonder if they're associated with these and with well, with these, or if they're a different type of pattern. But yeah, and then we have this other type of pattern, kind of similar, kind of different, up here, like the rock walls that are kind of melded with the dirt. So very odd stuff. And yeah, there's more stuff up in northern Peru here. Weird patterns. Yeah, here we go. Either scrape marks or probably just the natural flow of the rock. If the rock is natural, patchy, obviously. Patchy, chunked out, and this is what, at least a couple 100 miles away from these areas where we've seen it before. So faint rectangular divots. Okay. Random shape. What's our random shape? This guy. Cool. What is this? Subtle path. Maybe a subtle path here. Let's hide this and check it out. Possible subtle path across, and another path here actually. Here we go. Right across here, up there. It's kind of marking up the hillside. I don't think it's natural. This stuff I'm still tripping on. It could be exposed rock layers. Like yeah, I mean, it looks like it is. And then, I mean, we've got more stuff further north. Just the scale, once again, the style, pretty staggering. Possible straight tool. Oh, this is a good one, I think. So let me hide this. So, looking to me, tough to say. Almost like the straight edge of, could just be differential erosion or a natural groove. So, I mean, that is the direction of what looks like the striations of rock. So it's probably just that. Anything else up here I want to show you? Oh, just more stuff. I mean, same. More of the same. More of the same. And lots of little random rock patterns, squares, polygons. Nice little squarish lake here. Okay. All right, that's enough of this area for now. E-Rock has some pretty weird patterns. Okay. Yeah, let's go look at this. All right, so first of all, this channel thing, I was going to show this in my very long lines episode, but I guess it's a strange pattern as well. So here we go. This long channel thing, it's kind of a mound of this circle. Not well, it might be it probably is a farm, but this very long ditchy mound. You can see how big it is in comparison to this 3-lane highway, and here's the width of this, so it's much bigger. And it's not a road, doesn't look like much. So this is some type of terraforming which went on here, and you can see lines across it like this. See these? And it goes on and on with many little variations and these wavy lines. So I'm suspecting that this whole area is like worked over again, not news anymore. But suspecting that these wavy lines are no historical photos in this area, I guess. Or it's just glitching. 2003, same deal. But I think the waviness and these these little overlooked or passed by areas are all little remnants of terraforming edges of, I mean, obviously it's terraforming, but is it these guys? Is it something else? But let's continue along this ditch. See the weirdness and kind of haphazardness of it, vastness of it, how huge it is. Let's follow it to the end. More wavy lines all around. Whole area worked over again. Just a vast maneuver of something. For what purpose? I don't know. Possibly. See, a lot of people talk about the remains of ancient civilizations thing, and I think that is a component. Like, a lot of people would see this long channel thing and say, oh, it's a old channel from a former civilization, and I would say that's very possible. I think what we're dealing with is something pretty rich and complex. So I think there may be like advanced civilizations. I mean, civilization itself may not even be a wise endeavor, at least not under certain conditions. And the Earth conditions are pretty shitty, but more or less legit civilizations, and then they were covered up by some type of plumbusy protocol or gibberishy protocol, or like besmirched by that protocol. So that's possible. And then it's also possible that this is just gibberish from scratch, like for the sake of gibberish, or not even strategic, but just like an output of an algorithm which was asked to make many patterns according to particular rules. And so you can't really look at any one output or pattern and say you know exactly what's going on, because it's just random patterns as part of a central agenda, possibly. And here it kind of peters out, picks up again. So was there something significant here which was scratched out of existence? So that would be like the legit civilization thing. Like, was this a former gate and then someone just plucked it out? Like a big Great Wall of China type thing? They just plucked it out of the ground? That's very possible. See, I'm leaning currently, I don't know if I believe this as my main theory, but kind of leaning towards the possibility that Earth is like a game board for like war games, like Age of Empires, the video game, or like SimCity, or like I don't know what else. Like Westworld, where they just roll out new, like the board game Risk, where they just roll out a new era of history, like in the show Westworld. And there's another long linear channel over here. If I could stay focused on one topic for 2 seconds. So the whole area is patchy, obviously. Probably worked over. Here it is. Very similar to that channel, but this one just kind of starts and kind of fades in and fades out. Doesn't have any significant turns. It's just very straight and still pretty wide. Just a gash, very large scale gash across the landscape. And looks like it starts and stops a little bit here. And then it fades out. So this, oh, and one more right here. Looks like, should mark that. So this, like, starting and just stopping. There it is. And another little segment of it there. Kind of starts and stops like that. And I haven't gone over this area with a fine-tooth comb, but I would be willing to bet that there's plenty more of these long ditches. Yep, here's another one. Wow. Forgive me while I mark this. So let's take a quick look at this one. I think it's relevant because it's a strange pattern, and not to mention all the worked over land around it. This is Iraq again. And here we have this thing. Following it, looks like some kind of splatter on the side of it, almost. Like a big old plasma ball just blazed across the landscape or something like that, I don't know. Or it's just meant to be enigmatic on purpose, that's another possibility. Or it's like a failed irrigation project, or a successful one that's from a lost age of civilization. Here's another one here. Another one here. So these are, might even call this an out of place channel as well. Possible gratuitous circular thing there, although you see human activity around. Yeah, just a large scale ditch. I mean, you see how many miles this is. Very long, kind of fading out here, and then looks like it picks back up over oh, maybe not. Sorry, my computer's glitching. But that's that. I mean, Batman. Okay. I may or may not edit this video, and if I don't, I'm sorry, because I know there's some dead spots in it. Here too? No. This has got to be a road. Okay, but yeah, strange pattern. The waviness also, and the patchiness as a possible remnant of some kind of gibberishy terraforming thing. And let's move on. All right, I gotta go to bed.